Hooray, hooray, it's finally Friday. Yes, it is Friday. If you haven't heard of the term grammar police, it's people like Mr. Cook that walk around correcting signs, not literally, obviously, I'm not a vandal, and people's grammar just because I speak so proper. So there's the police, stay home. And there's the grammar police, stay at home. Excellent, excellent stuff. Right, you might have seen this coming, grammar police. Coordinating conjunctions yesterday, thank you for your work on that. Subordinating conjunctions today, and some of you may have predicted that, let's be honest. And here's the rainbow that is on the front of your literacy books at school still. I haven't binned them or burnt them or sent them off to be incinerated. They're there waiting for you to return. As we've heard in the news, we'll be seeing you soon. However, whilst I saw a wubble is a nice way to remember some of the subordinating conjunctions, it's worth pointing out there's actually a lot more. These can all be used to join clauses together. Let's have a little look through there. Some of them are a bit weird, but some of them are quite useful. Like, wherever Postman Pat got up to today, whenever Postman, why am I going with Postman Pat? But well, whenever Postman Pat drank a cup of tea, he felt happy, etc. But we're going to look at how it actually works now. Main clauses is the bit that makes sense on its own, just as we saw yesterday. It's a standalone sentence. And in class I've mentioned this about 1,000,000 times, but I'm going to keep repeating it. Subordinate clause doesn't feel like it's finished. It is not a complete sentence. And of course it does start with a subordinating conjunction. That's the main clue. I'm going to just keep on about this. So if you could just go ahead and memorise that right now, that'll save me a heck of a lot of time later in the lesson. Which bit is which? So which bit makes sense on its own? So it's going to be separated by this comma or a conjunction. If you read the two bits separately, you'll find one of them makes sense. I'm trying not to point at it. One bit of the sentence makes sense on its own, and one of them doesn't quite finish like a complete sentence on its own. I may have thrown a trick in there just to warn you, but it's pause time. Which bit's the subordinate? Which bit's the main? Okie dokie. I've underlined the subordinate clause in both cases. Again, that little hint that this one starts with a subordinating conjunction and this one does. But let me try just reading them. Whenever he eats a burger, excuse the creaking floorboards at my house there. I'll do that again for dramatic effect. Whenever he eats a burger, you haven't finished, Mr. Cook. What happens after he eats a burger? How about this one? Until he smartened up his handwriting. What happened? What happened? That is the subordinating clause. It doesn't feel finished. Let's just try the main clauses. Mr. Corbett feels happy. Oh, that's good to know. Mrs. Kelly shouted at Rishi. I very much doubt it, but you know, these things happen. Maybe it's a different Rishi. Did I fool you with this last one? That's a coordinating conjunction right there. So we're going to find two main clauses, aren't we? Mr. Powell loves dogs. Cha-ching. And he likes to walk them every day. Oh, there's no subordinating conjunction there at all. Well done if I didn't manage to fool you. Here's this bit again. The bit that starts with the subordinating conjunction is the subordinate clause. And it's almost like somebody thought it through. The bit that starts with a subordinating conjunction is a subordinate clause and doesn't make sense on its own. Stop repeating yourself, man. Get on with the next bit. Here's some for you to have a go at though. I've done the main clauses for you here. These all make sense on their own. Have a play. Pause the tape now. Tape, video, and do me 3 subordinating clause. Fantastic. As always, if you want to put those on the blog just to make me chuckle, feel free. Other way to think of it here is I've done the subordinating clauses for you. So what could the main clauses be? Even though he had just eaten 5 cheeseburgers, please don't make it about me. Fionn has been insulting me all week in class about these. Pick on somebody else. How about this one? Until he could laugh no more. Or, whenever she heard a song on the radio, again, any belters, put them on the blog, let us have a good laugh at them. Otherwise, pause and have a think about that. Right, there it is. Get them on there, get them on Twitter. Either way, I'd love to see some of your funny sentences. Your task today, then, we're going to do a planet profile. And there's 2 options. You're going to describe to me what planets are like. So you could do a real planet, and if some of you want to ask Uncle Google about Jupiter, Saturn, all those beautiful planets of the solar system, feel free. But that might take a bit more time. Or you could do what I'm doing and make up a planet. And the idea is we're going to be writing sentences using subordinate clauses about a planet. So let me show you one I made earlier. I've stuck with the planet Omicron, those of you who've been following the lessons. Even though it is 1,000,000 times bigger than Earth, oh look, there's that subordinate clause starting with a subordinate conjunction. And there's me comma. The planet Omicron has far fewer inhabitants. Oh, I've tried to be posh, haven't I? As large swathes of the atmosphere are made of toxic gas. Unfortunately, look, that just there, that's a subordinate conjunction. This means that the few existing cities are massively overcrowded and are awful places to live. Look at me putting a coordinating conjunction in as well, and a hyphenated word. Ooh. The capital city of the whole planet is called Dudley and is a thoroughly unpleasant place to live. Whenever someone visits, they are always in a rush to leave due to the unbearable stench and pest-infested residences. Now, I hate to blow my own trumpet here, but whenever and due are 2 subordinating conjunctions. Look at me. So, I went down the make your own planet up. It's probably the easier option. But I'd like to see in your writing today, full stops. Yes, I am still on about that. Capital letters, especially for names of planets and starts of sentences. Subordinating conjunctions, but don't start every sentence with one. And don't feel that every sentence has to use one. It does sound a bit crazy if you keep doing it that way. And that is the weekend, folks. One more week. And well, I'll be honest with you, they announced it today. Let's change that to we will all be back together in school. Mr. Johnson has announced. Now it says here, I bet you can't wait. I bet some of you secretly can, but we are really looking forward to having you back in school. But either way, stay safe this weekend. It's time to kick back and relax and chill out. You've worked hard this week. Go and eat some cake or exercise. It's entirely up to you. See you all next week.